बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज की बुक में CSS की जनरल साइंस एंड एबिलिटी और PMS की जनरल नॉलेज दोनों का ऑलमोस्ट सेम है सिलेबस, सिवाय करंट अफेयर के, जो कि इस बुक में मैं नहीं डिस्कस करूँगी। और ये पूरी अकॉर्डिंग टू सिलेबस है और ये बुक भी मेरी लिखी हुई है। तो इस चैनल शुरू करते हैं इस बुक को। सबसे पहले ये जो कंटेंट्स हैं, ये सिलेबस ही पूरा का पूरा मैंने यहाँ पर वो रिप्रोड्यूस किया, तो इसलिए सिलेबस को मैं नहीं पढ़ रही। जो लोग CSS और PMS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो उनको पता होता है कि ये सिलेबस ये है, इसका काउंटर चेक कर सकते हैं। तो मैं स्ट्रेट अवे टॉपिक पे आती हूँ, तो ताकि टाइम वेस्ट ना हो कम से कम, क्योंकि जितना भी सिलेबस में जो चीज़ें हैं सारी वो हर टॉपिक को डिस्कस किया है मैंने। अच्छा जी, शुरू करते हैं। बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन द सोलर सिस्टम, गैलेक्सीज एंड द यूनिवर्स। सबसे पहले सोलर सिस्टम। द सोलर सिस्टम कंसिस्ट ऑफ द सन एंड ऑल द सेलेस्टियल ऑब्जेक्ट्स दैट आर ग्रेविटेशनली बाउंड टू इट। द मेजर कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ द सोलर सिस्टम इंक्लूड 8 planets: मरकरी, वेनस, अर्थ, मार्स, जुपिटर, सैटर्न, Uranus and Neptune. Their moons, asteroids, comets and other smaller celestial bodies. Galaxies. Galaxies are vast systems of stars, gas, dust and other celestial objects held together by gravity. The universe is made up of a billion of galaxies. The Milky Way is the galaxy in which our solar system resides. Universe. The universe is the entirety of space, time, matter and energy. It encompasses all galaxies, stars, planets and other celestial objects. The current understanding suggests that the universe began with the Big Bang and has been expanding ever since. Common terms used in astronomy. Star. A star is a luminous ball of gas, primarily hydrogen and helium, that generates light and heat through nuclear fusion. Planet. A planet is a celestial body that orbits a star, is spherical in shape and has cleared its orbit of other debris. Moon. A moon is a natural satellite that orbits a planet. Asteroid. Asteroids are rocky objects that orbit the sun, mostly found in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Comet. A comet is a small icy body that orbits the sun. When a comet gets close to the sun, it develops a glowing coma and a tail. Nebula. A nebula is a cloud of gas and dust in space, often the birthplace of stars. Supernova. A supernova is a powerful and explosive event that occurs during the death of a massive star, resulting in a bright temporary increase in its brightness. Black hole. A black hole is an extremely dense object with such a strong gravitational pull that nothing, not even light, can escape it. Light year. A light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year, approximately 9.46 trillion kilometers, 5.88 trillion miles. Natural hazards and disasters and disaster risk management. Natural hazards are events or processes that occur in nature and pose a threat to human life, property and the environment. Some common natural hazards include earthquakes, cyclone, also known as hurricane or typhoons, the tsunamis, floods, wildfires, and volcanic eruptions. Disaster risk management involves efforts to assess, reduce, and manage the risk associated with natural hazards. It includes activities such as hazard identification, risk assessment, and disaster preparedness, emergency response and recovery and reconstruction. The goal is to minimize the impacts of disasters and enhance the resilience of communities and infrastructure. Energy sources, both fossil fuels and renewable sources and their sustainable use. Fossil fuels are non-renewable energy sources formed from the remains of ancient plants and organisms. They include coal, oil, and natural gas. Fossil fuels have been the primary source of energy for many decades but contribute to environment problems such as air pollution and climate change. Renewable energy sources are derived from naturally replenishing resources and have a minimal environmental impact. Examples include solar energy, wind power, hydropower, biomass, and geothermal energy. These sources are considered sustainable because they are virtually inexhaustible and produce fewer greenhouse gas emissions compared to fossil fuels. Sustainable use. Sustainable use of energy sources involves utilizing them efficiently, minimizing waste, and transitioning to renewable energy options. It also involves adopting energy conservation measures, promoting energy efficiency, and developing technologies that facilitate the integration of renewable energy into the existing energy infrastructure. Basics of physics and chemistry, including atomic structure, chemical bonding, radiations, laws, and principles of physics. So, physics, atomic structure. Uh, uh, Atomic structures. Atoms are the basic building blocks of matter. They consist of nucleus, which contains protons and neutrons and electrons that orbit around the nucleus. The atomic number or represents the number or protons in an atom, while the mass number represents the sum of protons and neutrons. Chemical bonding involves the formation of bonds between atoms to create molecules or compounds. There are three main types of chemical bonds: covalent bond, ionic bonds, and metallic bonds. Covalent bonds involve the sharing of electrons between atoms. Ionic bond involve the transfer of electrons from one atom to another. And metallic bonds occur in metals where electrons are delocalized and shared between atoms. Radiation. Radiation refers to the emission and transmission of energy in the form of electromagnetic waves or particles. It can be classified into ionizing radiation such as gamma rays, X rays, and some ultraviolet rays, and non ionizing radiation such as visible light, radio waves, and microwaves. Radiation has various applications in medicine, industry, and research, but it can also have harmful effects on living organisms. Laws and principles of physics. Physics is governed by several fundamental laws and principles, including Newton's laws of motion. These laws describe the relationship between the motion of an object and the forces acting upon it. Law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be converted from one form to another. Law of conservation of mass. Mass is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Laws of thermodynamics. These laws define the behavior of energy and heat transfer in systems. Theory of relativity. Proposed by Albert Einstein, this theory describes the relationship between space, time, and gravity. Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the behavior of particles at the atomic and subatomic level, incorporating wave particle duality and probabilistic nature. Chemistry. Atomic structures. In chemistry, atomic structure refers to the composition and arrangement of atoms. Atoms consist of a nucleus containing protons and neutrons and electrons orbiting around the nucleus in energy levels or shells. Chemical bonding. Chemical bonding involves the formation of bonds between atoms to create compounds. Covalent bonding occurs when atoms share electrons, resulting in the formation of molecules. Ionic bonding occurs when atoms transfer electrons, leading to the formation of ions that attract each other. Metallic bonding occurs in metals when the outer electrons are delocalized and shared between atoms. Chemical reactions. Chemical reactions involve the transformation of substances into new substances with different properties. They are described using chemical equations which represent the reactants and products involved in the reaction. The reactants undergo chemical changes and are converted into products through the breaking and forming of chemical bonds. Periodic table. The periodic table is a tabular arrangement of elements based on their atomic number, electron configuration, and recurring chemical properties. It provides valuable information about the elements, including their symbol, atomic mass, and properties. Chemical laws. Chemistry is governed by various laws and principles, including law of conservation of mass. Mass is conserved in a chemical reaction. The total mass of reactants equals to the total mass of products. Law of definite proportions. A chemical compound always contains the same elements in fixed proportions by mass. Law of multiple proportions. When two elements from multiple compounds, the ratios of the masses of one element in the compounds are in simple whole number ratios. These are just a few basics in physics and chemistry, and there are many more concepts and principles within these disciplines. Materials, chemicals, and their properties. Materials are substances used to make objects or provide certain functionalities. They can be classified into various categories such as metals, ceramics, polymers, composites, and semiconductors. Each material has its unique properties and characteristics that determine its suitability for specific applications. Chemicals are substances with distinct composition that undergo chemical reactions. They can be natural or synthetic and can exist in various forms such as solids, liquids, or gases. Chemicals are used in a wide range of industries, including pharmaceuticals, agriculture, manufacturing, and consumer products. Properties of materials and chemicals. Materials and chemicals have specific properties that determine their behavior and usefulness. Some common properties include physical properties. These properties can be observed or measured without changing the chemical composition of the material or chemical. Examples include color, density, melting point, boiling point, conductivity, and hardness. Chemical properties. Chemical properties describe how a material or chemical interacts with other substances and undergoes chemical reactions. Examples include reactivity, flammability, acidity, and stability. Mechanical properties. These properties describe how a material responds to external forces or loads. Examples include strength, stiffness, elasticity, ductility, and toughness. Thermal properties. Thermal properties describes how a material or chemical behaves with respect to heat. Examples include specific heat capacity, thermal conductivity, and coefficient of thermal expansion. Electrical properties. Electrical properties describe how a material conducts or resists the flow of electric current. Examples include conductivity, resistivity, and dielectric strength. Minerals and their mining. Minerals are naturally occurring inorganic substances with specific chemical compositions and crystal structures. They are the building blocks of rocks and are formed through geological processes. Examples of minerals include quartz, feldspar, calcite, diamond, gold, and iron ore. Mining refers to the extraction of minerals from the earth's crust for various purposes. It involves locating mineral deposits, extracting the minerals through excavation or drilling, and processing them for use. There are different methods of mining, including surface mining and underground mining, depending on the depth and location of the mineral deposit. Mining techniques are vary depending on factors such as the type of mineral, its depth, and environmental considerations. Some common mining techniques include open pit mining. This method involves the extraction of minerals from large open pits or excavated areas on the earth's surface. It is used for minerals found close to the surface, such as coal and copper. Underground mining. This method is used when minerals are located deep underground. It involves accessing the mineral deposit through tunnels and shafts, and extracting the minerals using specialized equipment. Placer mining involves the extraction of minerals, particularly valuable metals like gold and silver, from alluvial deposits such as river beds or sedimentary layers. It typically involves using water to separate the heavier minerals from the lighter sediments. In situ mining, also known as solution mining, it is used for minerals that are dissolved in a liquid such as uranium. It involves injecting a leaching solution into the mineral deposits, extracting the dissolved minerals, and then processing them. Environmental considerations: mining can have significant environmental impacts, including habitat destruction, water and soil pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Sustainable mining practices aim to minimize these impacts by implementing measures such as reclamation of mined areas, responsible waste management, and reducing the use of harmful chemicals. आगे जी बायोलॉजिकल साइंस शुरू हो जाती है. सेल एंड स्ट्रक्चर एंड फंक्शन. फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ लाइफ forms, e.g. cell structure, nucleus. Life forms including cells exhibit a range of fundamental structures and functions that enable them to carry out essential processes. Here are some key components and concepts related to cell structure and organization. Cell. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. It enclosed by a plasma membrane which separates the cell's internal components from the external environment. Plasma membrane. The plasma membrane, also known as the cell membrane, is a phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins. It regulates the flow of substances in and out of the cell and maintains its internal environment. Nucleus. The nucleus is a membrane bound organelle that contains the cell's genetic material, such as DNA. It serves as the control center of the cell and is responsible for regulating gen expression and directing cellular activities. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm refers to the gel-like substance that fills the cell between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. It contains various organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and others. Organelles. Organelles are specialized structures within cells that perform specific function. For example, mitochondria. These organelles are responsible for cellular respiration, converting nutrients into usable energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate ATP. Endoplasmic reticulum (ER). The ER is involved in protein synthesis, lipid metabolism, and detoxification processes. Golgi apparatus. It processes, modifies, and packages protein and lipids for transportation to their final destinations. Lysosomes. Lysosomes contain digestive enzymes that break down waste materials and cellular debris. Chloroplasts in plant cell. The chloroplasts are involved in photosynthesis, where they convert light energy into chemical energy. Cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is a network of protein filaments that provides structural support and helps maintain cell shape. It involves in cell movement, cell division, and the transport of materials within the cell. DNA and RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is the genetic material that carries the hereditary information of an organism. It is stored in the nucleus and provides instructions for the cell's functioning. Ribonucleic acid (RNA) is involved in protein synthesis and other cellular processes. Cell division. Cells reproduce through cell division, which includes processes like mitosis for growth and tissue repair, and meiosis for sexual reproduction. During cell division, DNA is replicated and distributed to daughter cells. These are just a few of the fundamental components and concepts related to cell structure and organization. The complexity and diversity of life forms allow for variations in cell structures and functions, catering to specific needs and ecological niches. Biomolecular structures like proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, enzymes, etc., and their functions, properties. Proteins structure. Proteins are macromolecules composed of amino acids linked together by peptide bonds. They have a complex three-dimensional structure. Function. Proteins have various functions including enzymes, catalysis, structural supports, transportation of molecules, immune defense, and cell signaling. Properties. Proteins exhibit specificity, meaning their structure allows them to interact with the specific molecules or ligands. They can undergo conformational changes, and their function often relies on their specific shape. Lipids structure. Lipids are diverse molecules that include fats, phospholipids, and steroids. They are composed of hydrocarbon chains and may have polar and non-polar regions. Functions. Lipids serve as structural components of cell membrane, provide energy storage, etc., as signaling molecules, and contribute to insulation and protection. Properties. Lipids are hydrophobic, repel water due to their non-polar nature. They can form lipid bilayers in aqueous environments, creating barriers such as cell membrane. Carbohydrates structure. Carbohydrates are known as sugar or saturates, are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. They can be simple sugars, monosaturates, or complex carbohydrates, polysaturates. Function. Carbohydrates are a primary energy source for cells. They also have structural roles, e.g., cellulose in plant cell walls, and serve as recognition molecules on cell surface. Properties. Carbohydrates can form linear or ring structures. They can be soluble in water and can undergo chemical reactions such as dehydration, synthesis, or and hydrolysis. Enzymes structure. Enzymes are proteins that act as biological catalysts, facilitating chemical reactions in cells. They have specific three-dimensional shapes, including active sites where substrates bind. Function. Enzymes speed up chemical reactions while lowering the activation energy required. They are involved in processes like digestion, metabolism, and DNA replication. Properties. Enzymes are highly specific to their substrates, meaning they recognize or bind to specific molecules. They are often reusable and can be regulated through factors like temperature, pH, and enzymes inhibitors. These biomolecules play crucial roles in the structure, function, and regulation of living organisms. Their diverse properties allow for complex biochemical process necessary for life. Plant and animal life. Plant and animal life represent two major categories of living organisms on Earth. While they share some fundamental characteristics, there are also significant differences between them. Here is an overview of plant and animal life. Plant life structure. Plants are multicellular organisms with complex structures. They have cell walls made of cellulose, chloroplast for photosynthesis, and specialized tissues for various functions. Nutrition. Plants are autotrophs, meaning they can produce their own food through photosynthesis. They use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to synthesize glucose and other organic compounds. Growth. Plants have indeterminate growth, meaning they can continue to grow throughout their lives. They have meristems, regions of actively dividing cells that allow for the production of new tissues and organs. Reproduction. Plants reproduce sexually through flowers which contain reproductive structures such as male stamens and female pistils. They can also reproduce asexually through methods like vegetative propagation. Mobility. Most plants are sessile, rooted on the ground. However, some plants exhibit limited mobility, such as movement of leaves and or tendrils in response to stimuli. Animal life structure. Animals are also multicellular organisms, but they lack cell walls. They have specialized tissues and organs that enable various functions. Nutrition. Animals are heterotrophs, meaning they obtain their nutrition by consuming their organisms or organic matter. They have specialized digestive system to break down food and extract nutrients. Growth. Animals have determinate growth, meaning they reach a specific size and shape determined by the genetics. Most animals undergo a period of growth followed by a reaching mature size. Reproduction. Animals reproduce sexually with distinct male and female individuals. They have specialized reproductive organs and employ various strategies for mating, fertilization, and offspring development. Mobility. Animals are generally mobile and capable of locomotion. They have muscular and skeletal systems that enable movement in response to environmental stimuli. Plants and animals have co-evolved and interact with each other within ecosystems. They play vital roles in the balance of ecosystems, such as plants producing oxygen through photosynthesis and animals pollinating plants. Both plant and animal life contribute to the biodiversity and ecological functioning of our planet. Human body, its parts, organs, and their function. The human body is a complex organism composed of various parts and organs that work together to maintain homeostasis and carry out essential function. Here is an overview of some major body parts, organs, and their functions. Skeletal system. Bones provide support, protection of internal organs, and serve as attachment sites for muscles. Joint allow for movement and flexibility. Muscular system. Muscles enable movement, maintains posture, generate heat, and facilitate organ function. Nervous system. Brain controls body functions, processes information, and coordinates body activities. Spinal cord connects the brain to the peripheral nerves and control reflexes. Nerves transmit signals between the brain, spinal cord, and the rest of the body. Circulatory system. Heart pumps blood to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body. Blood vessels. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. Veins return deoxygenated blood back to the heart, and capillaries facilitate exchange of materials between blood and tissues. Respiratory system. Lungs facilitate the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the air and blood. Trachea conducts air to and from the lungs. Digestive system. Mouth begins digestion through chewing and mixing food with saliva. Stomach breaks down food through mechanical and chemical digestion. Small intestine absorbs nutrients from food. Liver products bile for digestion and performs various metabolic functions. Pancreas produces digestive enzymes and hormones. Large intestine absorb water and form feces. Urinary system. Kidneys filter waste products from the blood and regulate water and electrolyte balance. Bladder stores urine until it is excreted from the body. Endocrine system. Glands, e.g., pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, produce hormones that regulate bodily functions, growth, and development. Reproductive system. Male testes produce sperm, while penis delivers the sperm to the female reproductive system. Female ovaries produce eggs. The uterus supports fetal development, and the vagina is the birth canal. Integumentary system. Skin protects the body, regulates temperature, and facilitates sensation. These are just a few examples of the many parts and organs in human body, each with specific functions that contribute to overall health and functioning. The human body is a complex interconnected systems, and the proper functioning of each part is crucial for overall well-being. Common disease, their causes, symptoms, and treatments. Vitamins, their sources and functions of vaccines, etc. Common disease, influenza, flu. Caused by influenza virus, it presents with symptoms like fever, cough, core, throat, body aches, and fatigue. Treatment includes rest fluids and antiviral medications. Diabetes, a chronic condition characterized by high blood sugar levels due to insulin deficiency or resistance. Symptoms include increased thirst, frequent urination, fatigue, and weight loss. Management includes lifestyle changes, medication, and insulin therapy. Cardiovascular disease refers to conditions affecting the heart and blood vessels such as coronary artery disease and stroke. Risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, and obesity. Treatment involves lifestyle modifications, medication, and medical procedures. Cancer, a group of disease characterized by abnormal cell growth causes can include genetic factors, environmental exposure, and lifestyle choices. Symptoms vary based on the type of cancer, and treatment may involve surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and targeted therapies. Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurological disorder leading to memory loss, cognitive decline, and behavior changes. Its exact cause is known, but it involves factors like age and genetic predisposition. Currently, there is no cure, but treatment aims to manage the symptoms. Vitamins. Vitamin A sources include liver, carrots, sweet potatoes. Functions include vision, immune function, and cell differentiations. Vitamin C found in citrus, fruits, berries, and peppers. It plays a role in collagen synthesis, wound healing, and immune function. Vitamin D obtained from sunlight, fatty fish, and fortified dairy products. It aids in calcium absorption, bone health, and immune regulation. Vitamin B12, mainly found in animal products, it is essential for nerve function and red blood cell production. Vitamin K, present in leafy green vegetables and vegetable oils. It is involved in blood clotting and bone metabolism. Vaccines are designed to stimulate the immune system to produce an immune response against specific pathogens, preventing diseases. Some commonly administered vaccines include measles, mumps, rubella. MMR vaccine protects against their viral infections. Tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis. TDAP vaccine provides immunity against tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, whooping cough. Polio vaccine prevents polio, a viral infection that can cause paralysis. HPV vaccine protects against certain strains of the human papillomavirus, reducing the risk of cervical and other cancers. Influenza vaccine developed annually to target prevalent strains to the flu virus. Treatment and management of diseases depend on the specific condition, and it's important to consult healthcare professionals for accurate diagnosis, guidance, and personalized treatment plans. Additionally, maintaining a balanced diet and following preventive measures such as vaccinations and healthy lifestyle choices can contribute to overall well-being and disease prevention. Bioclimate, water rocks, ecosystem, biodiversity, climate change, water cycle, biosphere, rock types. Ecosystem, an ecosystem refers to the community of living organisms including plant, animals, and microorganisms interacting with one another and their physical environment. It encompasses both the biological and physical components of an environment, such as the interactions between organisms, the flow of energy and nutrients, and non living elements like air, water, and soil. Biodiversity refers to the variety of life forms present on Earth, including the diversity of species, genetic diversity within species, and the diversity of ecosystem. It encompasses the wide range of plants, animals, microorganisms, and their interactions with one another and their environment. Biodiversity is important for maintaining the stability and functioning of ecosystem, providing various ecosystem services and contributing to human well-being. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in global or regional climate patterns. It is primarily caused by human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which trap heat and lead to a warming effect. Climate change can result in a range of impacts, including rising temperature, changing precipitation patterns, sea level rise, increased frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, and disruptions to ecosystems and biodiversity. Water cycle. The water cycle, also known as a hydrological cycle, is the continuous movement of water on above and below the Earth's surface. It involves the process such as evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and runoff. Water from oceans, lakes, rivers, and other sources evaporates into the atmosphere, condenses to form clouds, and eventually falls back to the earth as precipitation. The water cycle plays a crucial role in distributing water resources across the planet and maintaining the balance of water in various ecosystems. Biosphere. The biosphere refers to the zone of Earth where life exists. It encompasses all living organisms, their habitats, and the interactions between them. The biosphere includes various ecosystems such as forests, deserts, oceans, grasslands, and freshwater systems. It extends from the depths of the oceans to the highest mountain peaks and is characterized by the cycling of nutrients, flow of energy, and the intricate web of relationships among organisms. Rock types. Rock types refer to the various classification of rocks based on their origin, composition, and formation process. There are three main types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Igneous rocks are formed from the cooling and solidification of molten magma or lava. They are they can be further classified into intrusive igneous rock found beneath the earth's surface, such as granite, and extrusive igneous rocks formed on earth's surface, such as basalt. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the disposition and subsequent compaction and cementation of sediments such as sand, silt, and clay over time. Examples of sedimentary rocks include sandstone, limestone, and shale. Metamorphic rocks are formed when the transformation of existing rocks under high heat, pressure, or the influence of chemical fluids. They result from the alteration of pre-existing rocks, both igneous and sedimentary. Examples of metamorphic rocks include marble, slate, and quartzite. Each rock type has its own unique characteristics, formation process, and geological significance. They contribute to Earth's geology and provide insights into the Earth's history and the process that have shaped it over millions of years. Ecobioclimate, water, rocks, ecosystem, biodiversity, climate change, water cycle, biosphere, rock types, etc. Ecosystem. An ecosystem refers to community of living organisms, including plants, animals, and microorganisms, interacting with one another and their physical environment. It encompasses both the biological and physical components of an environment, such as the interactions between organisms, the flow of energy and nutrients, and the non-living elements like air, water, and soil. Biodiversity, climate change, sorry दोबारा आ गया ये, वाटर साइकिल, बायोस्फीयर, रॉक टाइप्स. आगे चलते हैं. Types of atmospheric pollution. Air pollution. This type of pollution involves the release of pollutants into the air primarily from human activities. Common air pollutants include carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, NOx, sulfur oxides, SOx, particulate matter PM, volatile organic compound VOCs, and toxic gases. Smog is a type of air pollution that occurs when pollutants such as nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds combine with sunlight to form a hazy mixture. It is commonly associated with urban areas and can have harmful effects on respiratory health. Acid rain. Acid rain is caused by the deposition of acidic pollutants in the atmosphere, primarily sulfur dioxide, SO2, and nitrogen oxides, which react with water vapor to form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Acid rain can have detrimental effects on vegetation, aquatic ecosystem, and infrastructure. Sources of atmospheric pollution. Industrial emissions. Industrial activities including the burning of fossil fuels, emissions from power plants, factories, and manufacturing processes contribute to atmospheric pollution. Transportation. Vehicle emissions, especially from cars, trucks, and airplanes, release significant amounts of pollutants into the atmosphere, including carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, NOx, and particulate matter. Agricultural practices. Agricultural activities such as the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, livestock emissions, methane, and open burning of agricultural waste can release pollutants into the atmosphere. Effects of atmospheric pollution. Human health impacts. Atmospheric pollution can lead to respiratory problems, cardiovascular disease, allergies, and other health issues. Fine particulate matter PM2.5 and certain gases like nitrogen dioxide, NO2, and ozone O3 can have adverse effects on human health when inhaled. Environmental impact. Pollution can harm ecosystem, leading to the decline of plant and animal species, disruptions of habits, and degradation of water bodies and soil quality. Ozone depletion. Ozone depletion refers to the thinning of the ozone layer in the Earth's stratosphere. The main cause of ozone depletion is the release of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, halogens, and other ozone depleting substances (ODS) used in aerosols, refrigeration, air conditioning, and industrial processes. These chemicals, when released into the atmosphere, can break down ozone molecules, leading to the formation of the ozone hole. Ozone depletion has harmful effects on human health as increased levels of ultraviolet radiation can reach the Earth's surface, causing skin cancer, cataracts, and other health problems. Greenhouse effects and CFCs. The greenhouse effects refers to the trapping of heat in the Earth's atmosphere by certain gases known as greenhouse gases such GHS, including carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, nitrous oxide, N2O, and fluorinated gases. These gases allow sunlight to enter the atmosphere but trap the heat radiated from the Earth's surface, causing a warming effect. Chlorofluorocarbons CFCs and synthetic compounds that were once widely used in various industries. They have high global warming potentials and are also responsible for ozone depletion. The release of CFCs into the atmosphere contributes to the greenhouse effect and has adverse environmental impacts. Efforts have been made globally reduce to the protection and use of CFCs and other ozone depleting substances through international agreements such as the Montreal Protocol, which international conventions, regimes on climate change, biodiversity, wealth desertification, carbon credits, and ongoing negotiations on environment. There are several international conventions and regimes that focus on the various environmental issues and promote global cooperation. Here are some of the key agreements and ongoing negotiations relating to the climate change, biodiversity, wetlands, desertification, and carbon credits. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change (UNFCCC). The UNFCCC is an international environment treaty aimed at stabilizing greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere to prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate system. It sets the framework for global efforts to combat climate change and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The UNFCCC led to adoption of the Paris Agreement in 2015. Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is an international treaty under the UNFCCC that was adopted in 2015 and entered into force in 2016. Its goal is to limit global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and to pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The agreement emphasizes nationally determined contributions and NDCs by each country to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and provides a framework for adaptation, finance, technology transfer, and capacity building. Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD). The CBD is a multilateral treaty that aims to promote the conservation of biodiversity, the sustainable use of its components, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from genetic resources. The CBD was adopted in 1992 and has three main objectives: conservation of biodiversity, sustainable use of biodiversity, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits from genetic resources. The CBD establishes national commitments and provides a framework for international cooperation on biodiversity conservation. Ramsar Convention on Wetlands. The Ramsar Convention is an international treaty for the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands. It was adopted in 1971 and provides a framework for national action and the international cooperation on the conservation and wise use of wetlands, including their ecological character, biodiversity, and sustainable development. The convention promotes the designation of wetlands of international importance, Ramsar sites, and encourages their effective management. United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification (UNCCD). The UNCCD is a global treaty that addresses the issue of desertification and land degradation and drought. It aims to promote sustainable land management practices, improve the livelihood of affected populations, and contribute to the restoration of degraded ecosystem. The convention was adopted in 1994 and provides a framework for cooperation, technology transfer, and financial assistance to combat desertification. Carbon credits and emission trading. Carbon credits are tradable permits to certificates that represent the reduction or removal of greenhouse gas emissions. They are used as the market-based mechanism to incentivize emission reductions and promote investments in clean technologies. Various programs and initiatives exist, such as Clean Development Mechanism (CDM) and under the UNFCCC and control carbon offset markets, where companies or individuals can purchase carbon credits to offset their emission. Ongoing negotiations on environment. There are ongoing international negotiations and discussions on various environmental issues. Some key ongoing negotiations include United Nations Climate Change Conference (COP) and the annual conference of the parties. COP is the supreme decision-making body of the UNFCCC. COP meetings bring together representatives from countries to assess progress in dealing with climate change, negotiate agreements, and establish future climate action goals. Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD) Conference on the Parties. COP. The CBD holds regular COP meetings to review progress, negotiate new targets, and discuss actions to conserve biodiversity and promote sustainable use of natural resources. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC). IPCC conducts the scientific assessment of climate change and its impact. It regularly publishes reports that serve as basis for policy discussions and negotiations on climate change mitigation and adaptation. Water pollution types, sources, effects, remedies, sustainable use of water, recycling, waste management. Water pollution refers to the contamination of or degradation of water bodies such as rivers, lakes, oceans, and groundwater by various pollutants. Here are the key aspects related to water pollution: its sources, effects, remedies, sustainable use of water, recycling, and waste management. Types of water pollution. Chemical pollution. This type of pollution occurs when harmful chemicals such as industrial pollutants, pesticides, fertilizers, and pharmaceuticals enter water bodies and contaminate the water. These chemicals can have adverse effect on aquatic organisms and human health. Nutrient pollution. Nutrient pollution, often caused by excessive use of fertilizers in agriculture and untreated sewage, leads to excessive growth of algae and other aquatic plants, resulting in harmful algal blooms and oxygen depletion, known as eutrophication. Microbial pollution. Microbial pollution involves the presence of disease causing microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites in water bodies. It can result from sewage and wastewater discharge, poor sanitation practices, or contaminated runoff. Suspended solids. Suspended solids refer to solid particles such as sediment, silt, suspended solids. Suspended solids refer to solid particles such as sediments, silt, and debris that are suspended in water. These particles can reduce water clarity, block sunlight, and disrupt aquatic ecosystem. Sources of water pollution. Industrial activities. Industries often release pollutants into water bodies through the discharge of untreated wastewater, chemicals, heavy metals, and other harmful substances. Agricultural practices. The agriculture contributes to water pollution through the runoff of pesticides, fertilizers, and animal waste from fields and livestock operations. Municipal wastewater. Untreated or inadequately treated sewage and wastewater from household, business, and urban areas can contain pollutants and pathogens that contaminate water bodies. Oil spills. Accidental or deliberate releases of oil and petroleum products such as from offshore drilling, shipping accidents, or improper waste disposal can lead to water pollution. Effects of water pollution. Ecological impact. Water pollution can harm aquatic ecosystem by reducing oxygen levels, disrupting food chains, damaging habitats, and causing the decline of fish and other aquatic species. Human health impact. Contaminated water can lead to waterborne diseases such as diarrhea, cholera, hepatitis, and other illness. People who consume or come into contact with polluted water are at risk of developing health problems. Remedies of water pollution. Source control. Implementing pollution preventing measures at the source such as industrial regulations, agricultural best practices, and improved wastewater treatment can help reduce water pollution. Water treatment. Implementing effective water treatment processes such as filtration, disinfection, and advanced treatment technologies can remove pollutants and ensure the supply of clean and safe drinking water. Sustainable use of water. Sustainable water use refers to the management and conservation of water resources to meet present and future needs while maintaining ecological balance. Some key principles for sustainable water use include water conservation, promoting water saving practices such as efficient irrigation methods, reducing water waste, and implementing water efficient technologies in industries and households. Integrated water resource management. Adopting holistic approaches that consider the entire water cycle, including water allocation, usage, and protection of water ecosystem. Water recycling. Water recycling, also known as water use or reclaimed water, involves treating and reusing wastewater for various purposes such as irrigation, industrial process, and non-potable uses. Water recycling helps reduce water demand, conserves freshwater resources, and minimize wastewater discharge. Waste management. Proper waste management practices are crucial for preventing water pollution. Some key strategies include waste reduction. Promote waste reduction through recycling, composting, and waste minimizing strategies to reduce the amount of waste generated. Waste management refers to the collection, transportation, treatment, and disposal of waste materials in an environmentally responsible manner. It involves various practices and strategies aimed at minimizing and adverse impacts of waste on human health, the environment, and natural resources. Here are some key aspects of waste management. Waste hierarchy. The waste hierarchy is a guiding principle that prioritizes waste management strategies in the following order. Waste prevention. The most effective approach is to prevent waste generation in the first place. Waste minimization. If waste cannot be prevented, efforts should be made to minimize amount generated. Recycling and reuse. Recycling involves the collection and processing of waste minerals to create new products or raw materials. Reuse involves finding new uses for items that is still in good condition. Waste treatment. When recycling and reuse are not viable option, waste treatment is necessary. Disposal. Disposal is the last resort and involves the safe and environmental sound of disposal of waste in landfills or through other approved methods. Waste collection and transportation. Waste collection system involves the regular collection of waste from homes, business, and public areas. Sorry. Waste treatment processes aim to reduce the volume and hazardous properties of waste. Common treatment methods include incineration, the controlled combustion of waste at high temperature to generate energy and reduce the volume of waste. अच्छा जी, आगे है कंपोजिटिंग. द नेचुरल डिकम्पोजिशन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट एंड अंडर कंट्रोल्ड कंडीशंस टू प्रोड्यूस न्यूट्रिएंट रिच कंपोजिट that can be used as a soil amendment. Anaerobic digestion, a biological process that breaks down organic waste in the absence of oxygen, producing biogas methane that can be used for the energy production and digested as such as soil conditioner. Landfill management. Landfills are designed to safely isolate and contain waste materials. Hazardous waste management. Hazardous waste such as chemicals, pesticide, and electronic waste requires specialized handling and treatment due to its potential risk to human health and the environment. Public awareness and education. Promoting public awareness and education about waste management practices, recycling, and waste reduction strategies is crucial for encouraging behavior change and responsible water disposal. Extended producer responsibility, EPR. EPR is an approach where producers are responsible for entire life cycle of the products including proper disposal or recycling at the end of their use. Effective waste management practices are essential for conserving resource, reducing pollution, and promoting sustainable future. It requires collaboration among governments, industries, communities, and individuals to implement a comprehensive waste management system and promotes a circular economy approach. अच्छा जी, अब इन्वायरमेंटल साइंस के बाद अब आ गई है फूड साइंस. डाइट एंड एसेंशियल हेल्थ कंपाउंड्स. डाइट एंड एसेंशियल हेल्थ फॉर compounds for health. Maintaining a healthy diet is a crucial for overall well-being. Here are some essential compounds and dietary recommendations for good health. Macronutrients. Carbohydrates. Choose complex carbohydrates like whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables over refined and processed foods. Proteins include lean source of protein such as poultry, fish, beans, nuts, and tofu in your diet. Fats. Opt for healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Micronutrients. Vitamins. Consume a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins to obtain essential vitamins like vitamin A, C, D, E, K, and B. Minerals incorporate foods rich in minerals like calcium, dairy products, leafy greens, etc. Fiber include high fiber foods such as whole grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Antioxidants eat a colorful array of fruits and vegetables as they contain antioxidants that protect against cell damage and reduce the risk of chronic disease. Omega-3 fatty acids incorporate sources of omega-3 fatty acids like fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts to support heart and brain health. Hydration. Drink an adequate amount of water throughout the day to maintain proper hydration. It's important to note that individual dietary needs may vary based on factors such as age, sex, activity level, and any specific health conditions. Consulting with the registered dietitian or healthcare professional can provide personalized guidance and recommendations. Quality of food preservation problem relating to deterioration and fruits and vegetable adulteration. The quality of food preservation techniques are issued related to deterioration of fruits and vegetables as well as adulteration are important consideration for maintaining a healthy diet. Here is some information on the topics. Quality of food freshness. Choosing fresh high quality produce is crucial for obtaining maximum nutritional value. Organic and pesticides. Organic food is produced without synthetic pesticide fertilizers or genetically modified organisms GMOs. Food labels. Reading food labels helps determine the quality of packaged or processed foods. Preservation techniques. Refrigeration. Storing perishable fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator helps slow down the rate of spoilage and preserve freshness. Freezing. Freezing can extend the shelf life of many fruits and vegetables. Canning and jarring. Foods can be preserved through canning or jarring process. Problems relating to deterioration of fruits and vegetables. Enzymes. Browning. Exposure to oxygen can cause enzymatic browning or in the fruits and vegetables. Moisture loss. Fruits and vegetables can lose moisture, resulting in wilting and loss of texture. Mold and decay. Mold growth and decay are common issues that can affect the quality of fruits and vegetables. Adulteration. Food adulteration involves the addition of inferior, harmful, or misleading substance to food products. Adulterants can include additives, contaminants, or dilutants. आगे है जी फूड सिक्योरिटी ग्लोबल इश्यूज कंसर्निंग हंगर etc. फूड सिक्योरिटी इज अ ग्लोबल इशू दैट encompasses access to safe nutrients and sufficient food for all individuals. Here is an overview of food security and some global issues related to hunger. Definition of food security. Food security exists when all people at all time have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious foods that meet their dietary needs and preferences for an active and healthy life. Global issues concerning hunger. Hunger and malnutrition. According to the United Nations, over 820 million people worldwide suffer from chronic hunger. Malnutrition, including undernutrition and micronutrition deficiencies, affects a significant portion of the global population, particularly in developing countries. Poverty and inequality. Poverty is a major underlying factor contributing to food insecurity. Unequal distribution of wealth and resources leads to limited access to food. Climate change and natural disaster. Climate change impacts agricultural productivity, exacerbating food insecurity. Conflict and instability. Armed conflicts, civil unrest, and political instability can disrupt food production, distribution, and access. Lack of agricultural infrastructure and technology. Insufficient investment in agricultural infrastructure, modern farming techniques, and sustainable practices hinders productivity and limits the ability to meet food demand. Global efforts and solutions. Sustainable agriculture. Promoting sustainable agriculture practices. Investment in rural development. Social safety nets. Establishing social safety net programs such as transfer food vouchers and school feeding programs. Empowering women. International cooperation addressing global food security. हार्डवेयर फंडामेंटल्स. आगे कंप्यूटर साइंस आ गई. हार्डवेयर से रेफर टू फिजिकल components of the computer system or electronic device. It encompasses all the tangible parts that you can see, touch, such as central processing unit, CPU, memory modules, storage devices, input, output devices, and peripheral devices. Understanding the fundamentals of hardware is essential for anyone interested in computer system and electronics. Central processing unit, CPU. Uh, the brain of the computer carries out instruction and performance calculation necessary for the operation of the system. It consists of arithmetic logic unit ALU for mathematical operation and control unit that coordinates the execution of instructions. Memory also known as the primary storage of random access memory RAM is used to store data the CPU needs to access quickly. It holds data and instructions that are actively being processed by the CPU. RAM is volatile, meaning it loses its contents when power is turned off. Storage devices store data and program for long-term use. The most common types of storage devices include hard disk drives, HDDs, and solid-state drives. SSDs, HDDs use spinning disk to store data magnetically, while SSDs flash memory, resulting in faster access time. Input devices allow user to enter data or command into computer system. Common input devices include keyboard, mouse, touch screen, and scanners. Output devices display present process data to the user, such as monitors, printers, and speakers. The motherboard is the main circuit of the board of the computer. It connects allows communication between various hardware components, including CPU, memory, storage devices, etc. Expansion slots on the motherboard allow you to add additional components to the system, such as graphics cards, sound cards, or network cards. A bus is a communication pathway that allows data to be transferred between different hardware components. It consists of set of electrical conductors that carry signals and information. Power supply. The power supply unit PSU provides electrical power to the computer system. It converts the AC altering current power from the wall outlet into DC direct current power that computer components require to operate. Firmware refers to software that embedded into hardware devices. It provides low level control and instruction for the hardware components to function correctly. Firmware is usually stored in read-only memory ROM chips on devices like BIOS, basic input-output system of firmware on devices like routers and printers. Cooling systems. As computer components generate heat during operation, cooling systems such as fans, heats, sinks, and liquid cooling systems are used to dissipate the heat to prevent overheating. These fundamentals provide a starting point for understanding the hardware components of a computer system. Fundamentals of software. Software refers to a collection of programs, data, and instructions that control operation of computer system. Operating system OS. An operating system is a fundamental software component that manages computer hardware resources and provides a platform for running other software applications. Programming language are used to write software programs. They provide a set of rules, syntax that developers use to create instructions for the computer to follow. Examples of programming include Python, Java, C++, and JavaScript. Software development life cycles SDLC. The software development life cycle is a process that outlines the stages involved in developing software. Algorithms and data structure. Algorithms are step-by-step procedures or instructions for solving a problem or completing a task. Software testing. Software testing involves the process of evaluating software to ensure that it behaves as expected and meets the specific requirements. Software documentation. Software documentation refers to the process of creating and maintaining document that describes software's functionality, architecture, design, and usage. Software version control. The version control system VCS manages changes to software code and files, allowing multiple developers to collaborate on a project simultaneously. Software deployment. Software deployment involves the process of releasing software for use. Software maintenance involves making changes, fixing bugs, and updating software to improve its performance. Software security is essential to protect against unauthorized access, data breaches, and other malicious activities. It involves implementing security measures such as encryption, access controls, authentication mechanism, and vulnerability testing to ensure the software's integrity and protect sensitive information. Data processing refers to the collection, manipulation, and analysis of data to extract meaningful information and insights. Involve various activities such as data entry, data transformation, and data cleaning, data integration, and data analysis, and data visualization. The data processing cycle typically involves the following stages: data collection, gathering data from various sources such as database, file sources, or online platforms. Data entry, inputting the collected data into a computer system either manually or through automated process. Data cleaning, removing errors, inconsistencies, duplicates, and irrelevant information from the collected data to ensure its quality and accuracy. Data transformation, converting the data into suitable format or structure to further processing and analysis. This may involve reformatting, reorganizing, or aggregating the data. Data integration, combating data from multiple sources into a single unified data set. This process involves resolving any inconsistencies or conflicts between different data sets. Data analysis, applying various statistical, mathematical, or mechanical or machinic learning techniques to discover patterns, relationships, or trends within data. Data visualization, presenting the analyzed data in visual formats such as charts, graphs, or dashboards. Data storage and retrieval, storing processed data in database or data warehouses for future reference and retrieval. The tools and technologies used for data processing depend on the specific requirements of the task and the scale of the data. Common tools include programming language like Python or data manipulation libraries, pandas, database SQL or NoSQL, big data processing framework Epic, Hadoop or Epic Spark, and data visualization tools Tableau or Metapolation. अच्छा जी आगे बेसिक नॉलेज ऑफ एमएस वर्ड माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड इज़ अ पॉपुलर वर्ड प्रोसेसिंग प्रोग्राम डेवलप्ड बाय माइक्रोसॉफ्ट. It is part of the Microsoft Office suite of applications and is widely used for creating, editing, and formatting documents. Here are some basic knowledge points and Microsoft Word. Interface. The Microsoft Word interface consists of a ribbon at the top which contains various tabs with commands and options. The main area is the document workspace where you can type and edit text. Document creation. You can create a new document in Word by selecting new from file menu or by using Control N. You can also open existing documents from your computer and or cloud storage. Formatting text. Word provides various formatting options to style your text. You can change font type, size, color, and apply effects such as bold, italics, and underline. The formatting options are available on the ribbon or through shortcut keys. Paragraph formatting. Word allows you to format paragraph by adjusting alignment, indentation, line spacing, and applying bullets or numbering. You can access paragraph formatting options from the home tab on the ribbon. Page setup. You can customize the page setup settings such as margins, page orientation, portrait, or landscape, page sides, and headers, footers. These options are available in the page layout tab on the ribbon. Saving and printing. You can save your documents in different formats such as docs, PDF, or text. Use the save or save as option to save your document. To print a document, select the print option from the file menu or press Ctrl+P. Spell check and grammar. Word has built-in spell check and grammar tools to help you find and correct errors in your document. Inserting objects. Word allows you to insert various objects into your document such as pictures, tables, shapes, charts, and hyperlinks. Collaboration. Word support collaboration features allowing multiple users to work on the same document Simultaneously, you can share your document with other tracks, changes, and comments to facilitate collaboration. Templates. Word provides pre-designed templates for various document types such as resumes, letters, reports, and flyers. Uh, आगे है जी बेसिक नॉलेज ऑफ एक्सेल माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल विच इज़ पॉपुलर स्प्रेडशीट प्रोग्राम यूज्ड फॉर डाटा एनालिसिस कैलकुलेशन एंड विजुअलाइजेशन एक्सेल इज़ वाइडली यूज्ड इन वेरियस industries for tasks such as financial analysis, budgeting, project management, and data manipulation. Here are some key features and concepts in Excel. Workbook. An Excel file that contains multiple worksheets. Worksheet, a single sheet within a workbook where you can enter any and manipulate data. Cell, the intersection of column and row where you can enter and display data. Each cell has a unique address based on its column, letter, and row number, e.g. A1, B2. Formulas and functions. Excel allows you to perform calculations on your data using formulas and built-in functions. Formula starts with an equal sign and can include arithmetic operations, plus, minus, multiply, divide, reference to cells or range, and functions, sum, average. Autofill. Excel's autofill features allows you to quickly fill a series of cells with the pattern or sequence. You can drag the fill handle a small square at the bottom right corner of a selected cell or automatically populate adjacent cells. Formatting. Excel provides various formatting options to customize the appearance of cells such as font style, size, color, cell borders, and number. Formatting. Currency, percentage, charts, and graphs. Excel enables you to create visual representation of your data using different charts and graphs. Data sorting and filtering. Excel allows you to sort data in ascending or descending order based on one or multiple columns. Pivot tables. Pivot tables are powerful features in Excel that allow you to summarize and analyze large data set. They provide a way to group, filter, and aggregate data to gain insight and create custom reports. Data validation. Excel provides tools for data validation, allowing you to define rules and restrictions on the type and range of data can be entered into cells. Knowledge of PowerPoint. Certainly, PowerPoint is popular representation software developed by Microsoft. It allows user to create slideshow, text, images, animation, and multimedia elements to represent information in a visually engaging manner. Slides. A PowerPoint presentation is made up of individual slides. Each slide can contain text, image, charts, graphs, tables, shapes, and multimedia elements. Slide layouts. PowerPoint offers various pre-designed slide layouts which determines arrangement of content on slides. Themes. Themes in PowerPoint are predefined combination of colors, fonts, and visual effects that give a consistent look and feel to your entire presentation. Transition are visual effects that control how one slide transition to the next during a presentation. Animation. PowerPoint allows to add new animation to individual element within a slide. Slide master. The slide master is the feature in PowerPoint that allows you to customize the design and layouts of your entire presentation. Presenter view. Presenter view is mode in point that allows presenters to view their presentation on one screen while the audience sees only the slideshow and on another screen. It provides additional tools and features for presenters such as speaker notes, a timer, and a preview of upcoming slides. Multimedia integration. PowerPoint stops the integration of multimedia elements like images, audio, and video. Collaboration and sharing. PowerPoint allows multiple users to collaborate on a presentation simultaneously. You can also share your presentation in various formats including PowerPoint files, PDFs, and video files. Presenter tools. PowerPoint provides various tools to enhance the presenter's experience such as laser pointers and the highlighter tools. There are some of the essential features of concept in the PowerPoint. अच्छा networking basis. Networking basis basics refer to the practice of connecting computer and other devices together to share information and resources. It enables communication and data transfer between devices, allowing them to work together efficiently. There are different types of networking. Local area network (LAN). A LAN is a network that spans a small geographical area such as home, office, or campus. It typically connects computer, printers, and other devices within a limited area. Wide area network (WAN). A WAN is a network that covers a large geographical area, often connecting multiple LANs together. The internet is most well-known example of WAN, connecting devices and networks across the globe. Wireless network use wireless communication technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cellular networks. Metropolitan area network (MAN). A MAN covers a larger area than LAN, but is smaller than a WAN. It typically spans a city or a metropolitan region, connecting multiple LANs together. Virtual private network (VPN). A VPN allows secure communication over public networks like the internet. It creates an encrypted tunnel between devices, ensuring privacy and confidentiality. Networking involves several components and concepts such as network devices. These includes routers, switches, hubs, modern and access points, which facilitate the connection and routing of data between devices. Protocols. Networking protocols are a set of rules and standards that govern the exchange of data between devices on a network. Examples include TCP/IP transmission control protocol, Internet Protocol for the Internet Communication, and Wi-Fi IEEE 802.11 for wireless network. IP address Internet Protocol. IP addressing is used to identify and locate devices on a network. IP address consists of a unique combination of numbers and essential for devices to communicate with each other. Network topologies. Network topologies define the physical or logical layout of network. Common topologies include the bus, star, ring, and mesh configurations. Network security involves measures to protect networks and the data transmitted over them from unauthorized access, attacks, and data breaches. Email, short for electronic mail, is widely used method for exchanging digital messages between users over the internet and other computer networks. It allows individuals and business to send and receive messages, documents, and other files quickly and efficiently. Here are some key aspects of email. Email address. An email address is a unique identifier that consists of a username and domain name. For example, email clients. Email clients is a software application that allows the user to access their email accounts, compose, send, receive, and manage email messages. Email server and responsible for handling the storage, retrieval, and delivery of email messages. Message format. Email message typically include fields such as the sender's and recipient's email subject line and the body of the messages. They include also attachment, which are files that are sent along with the email. Protocols. Email communication relies on various protocols such as SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol for sending email, POP, Post Office Protocol, or IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol for retrieving emails, and MIME, Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions, or for handling attachments and multimedia content. Spam and filtering. Spam refers to unsolicited and unwanted email often sent in bulk. To combat spam, email providers use spam filters that analyze incoming messages and identify potential spam based on various criteria such as content, sender reputation, and user defined security. Email security is important to protect against unauthorized access, data breaches, and malicious activities. Encryption technologies such as transport layer security (TLS) or secure socket layers SSL can be used to secure email transmission. Additionally, users are advised to use strong password, enable two-factor authentication, and be cautious of phishing attempts. Social media refers to online platform and websites that enable users to create, share, and interact with the content and connect with other users. These platforms provide a virtual space for individuals, communities, business, and organizations to engage in communication, networking, and content sharing. Here are key aspects. User profile. Social media platform typically require user to create personal profile. Content sharing. Social media platform allows user to share various form of content. News feed. Social media platform organize content in chronological or algorithmically curated news feed. Engagement and interaction. Social media encourages interactions between users through like, comment, share, and private messaging. Networking and communicate. Social media platforms enable users to connect with friends, family, colleagues, and individuals with shared interests. Privacy and security. Social media platforms provide various privacy and setting to control the visibility of users' profile and content. Advertising and influencer marketing. Social media platforms offer advertising option to individuals, business, and organizations to promote their products, services, or causes. Some popular social media platforms include Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, and TikTok. Each platform has its own features, user base, and target audience, catering to different types of content and communication preferences. Basic of telecommunication, including GPS, fiber optics. Telecommunication refer to the transmission or information over long distances using various technologies. It involves the exact exchange of data, voice, and video signals between two or more points. Here are some basic of telecommunication, including GPS, global positioning system, and fiber optics. GPS is a satellite based navigation system that provides accurate positioning and timing information. It uses a network of satellites orbiting to the earth to determine the precise location of GPS enabled devices. Fiber optics is a technology that transmits the data through the thin strands of glass or plastic fibers using light straight signals. Telecommunication networks are the systems that enable the transmission and reception of data, voice, and video signals. The network consists of various components, including transmission media, cables, fibers, network devices, routers, switches, and protocols. TCP, IP, Ethernet that govern the flow of data. Networks can be wired, copper, fiber, or wireless radio, satellite, and can be categorized into LAN, WANs, and MANs. Modulation and demodulation. Modulation is the process of encoding information onto a carrier signal or for transmission, while demodulation is the process of extracting the information from the received signal. Modulation techniques such as amplitude modulation, AM frequency modulation, FM, and phase modulation, PM, are used variously telecommunication system to transmit and receive signals effectively. Telephony refer to technology and method used for voice communication over a distance. Wireless communication enables the transmission of signals without the use of physical cables. Telecommunication strands. Telecommunication strands ensure compatibility and interoperability between different systems and devices. Strands organizations such as the International Telecommunication Union ITU and the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering IEEE develop and maintain strands for various telecommunication technologies, including protocols, coding schemes, and networking interface. Telecommunication has revolutionized the way of we communicate and connect globally. It has enabled efficient and reliable long distance communication, improved navigation and positioning services, facilitated internet connectivity, and supported numerous applications across various industries, including telecommunications, transportation, healthcare, and entertainment. आगे जो है वो एबिलिटी पोर्शन है, इसको मैं नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में करूँगी. अभी तक के लिए इतना ही काफ़ी. थैंक यू फॉर लिसनिंग. अल्लाह हाफिज़.